Y'all, welcome to my channel where real women have real conversations and build real community. In today's video, I just wanted to do a bit of a story time. I've been feeling a certain type of way about not getting this job that I recently applied for. And so I just wanted to hop on here and just tell my story. And hopefully it'll inspire you guys who may be out there in the job market applying like crazy and not getting the job that you want. So first, the job that I applied for was at a local hospital, and it was for a newborn hearing screener position. So basically, I would be the person going to the maternity ward, the postpartum section of the hospital, and I would be performing hearing screens on the babies that were just born in the postpartum and in the NICU. Now, I've done this type of work before, back in 2017 up until I had baby number 4 in 2019. So I did it for 2 years and I really liked that job. I enjoy being with other moms. I enjoy seeing the babies. You know, I really like babies. They're cute and everything. And it wasn't hard. It wasn't a lot of like work. It was a lot of walking, which, you know, me being pregnant twice during the time that I was there was difficult. So that was like the difficult part, because it required a lot of walking back and forth to different rooms and sections of the hospital and stuff. But outside of that, it was a relatively easy job. It was easy going. No one was over me. Like, the manager was barely there. And by barely, I mean she would probably come like once or twice a week just to do office work or whatever. So I was pretty much on my own. I created my own schedule. You know, I was able to come in pretty much when I wanted, leave whenever I was done, you know, prioritizing who needed a hearing screen first based on if they were going home or if they could wait, and then I could push them to tomorrow. So basically, it was like I was in charge of my own thing, and I really liked that. And the hours were pretty flexible. So when I came across this position, I was like, ooh, you know, I really enjoyed it when I was doing it before. It's a part-time position, so I wouldn't have to be away from my home that much. It was only like up to like 24 hours a week. I'm like, I think that I could do this to ease back into a regular type job, because from then until now, I've been wandering between different agencies and temp jobs and stuff like that. So I wanted something that was more stable. I applied for the job, and it took about a week or so to hear anything back. And they ended up responding and sent me an invitation for an interview. I scheduled the interview. They sent me a link and was like, here, you can schedule the interview whenever you have time. It should only take about 15 to 20 minutes. And I did that. I scheduled the interview. When she sent me the link for the interview, it was actually at a bad time. I was really busy that week. I had appointment after appointment. Like, every day we had something scheduled. I ended up having to wait a couple weeks from the time that she sent me the invitation until I was able to do the interview. I felt like that was kind of like weird a little bit, but I scheduled the interview anyway, and I'm like, I'm just going to prepare and do my best. And when the time came, I had the interview. It was completely over the phone, not even a face-to-face or a Google or a Zoom or anything. It was over the phone, and she basically just told me what they were looking for, what the hours and the schedule was looking like, and if that is something that I would be able to do. And I was like, yeah, you know, I could do it. In my mind, I'm like, I have to switch some things around because I really wasn't trying to work on the weekends, and they were requiring that you work at least one weekend a month. But I'm like, okay, let me just see how it goes. And so I was like, yeah, that's something that I feel like I could do. And she asked about my previous jobs. She was asking, where did I work? What did I do for those jobs, those positions, those companies? What did I do? The names, and if I left on good terms or bad terms, basically. And why did I leave? And so I was explaining all of that, telling her about each previous position I had at the temp agencies and what I did there and the reason that I left. Now, as I'm saying all of this, because I've gone through 2 temp agencies just in the past year. Like, I started one in 2023, and then I started another one in 2023, but the first one ended up ending like 2-3 months later. It just didn't work out. And then the other one I ended up doing until about May of 2024. So I did that for maybe like 6 months or so. But that's still like 2 different jobs within basically a 1-year period. As I'm explaining all of this, I already feel like I'm not about to get this job. I felt like I was a walking red flag. Like, why would they hire me? Because I done went through so many jobs. Because that's not, that's not it. I have other experience. I went through other temp agencies, even though the one that I was with they sort of placed me permanently at that hospital. I was still contracted through another company. And I'm talking about that. I'm talking about the job before that I was STNA, that I did home care, and all of this different stuff. And as I'm explaining it, I'm just thinking to myself, dang, I've been through quite a few jobs. And I've done a variety of different things trying to figure out what it is that I really want to do, honestly. And just because life changed for me. In the beginning, I thought that I wanted to be a nurse. So I went and got training to be a STNA, which is basically like a nurse aide. It's an aide. You go and you help mostly the elderly, but you help clients with normal daily stuff like bathing, eating, cleaning, getting dressed and stuff like that, because they can no longer do it for themselves. I did that for a number of years, like in total about 5 years. But I realized that wasn't for me. I did not enjoy that much responsibility because it is a lot of work. You are the sole caretaker. Basically, they can't do it for themselves, so you are the one who has to feed them, put their clothes on, take their clothes off, pick them up. And I'm not that big, and I've never really been that big, and these people are over 200 pounds, but I have to pick them up, put them in the bed, or pick them up, put them in a wheelchair, push them in the wheelchair. I'm basically doing everything for them, and I was doing that while pregnant, while tired with the new baby and all that stuff. And I just didn't like it. I didn't know that I was not the type who actually liked being a sole caretaker. But, I went through that period and I was like, okay, this is not for me. I'm just not going to do that anymore. And so I did a couple other things, and then I came across the newborn hearing screening. And like I said, I really enjoyed it. It wasn't hard. I didn't have to lift anything heavy. I didn't have to take care of anybody. I came in, did the test, gave the results, followed up or whatever, and boom, that was it. I went home. And so when I came across this new position, I felt like it would be a good fit since I already have experience doing it. But at the same time, I felt like this is not going to go well, because as I'm talking, I'm feeling like, a red flag. So basically, you know, I still went through with it, and she was asking me why did I leave, and I'm basically like, I'm tired of working for temp agencies. Like, I want a more stable, permanent job. I want somewhere where I'm getting enough hours, making enough money, but it's still flexible and I still enjoy it. But it's stable. And so she was like, oh, okay. Well, I'm going to send this over to our hiring manager, and she's the one who's going to look over everything and see if you would be a good fit, and then she'll let me know. Usually they let me know in like, she's pretty quick in like a couple days, so I should get back to you with, you know, this week. Now this was on a Tuesday. I'm waiting. Friday comes. I still hadn't heard anything from her. So I ended up sending an email like, am I still being considered for the job? You know, just let me know either way. Look forward to hearing from you. It was more professional than that, but that was basically what was in the email. Like, which one is it? Did I get the job or not? So waited a couple days, and I finally checked my emails, and I see that she emailed me back and said that I did not get the job. I did not get the job, but if other opportunities become available, feel free to interview and blah, 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 and all that stuff. And I just felt disappointed. I felt rejected, and I felt like I did something wrong. I felt like I knew this was going to happen, but when it did, it just brought up all these feelings of like rejection or whatever. And I just was like, wow, now what? Like, I didn't get the job. I kind of had a feeling I wasn't going to get it, but now that I didn't get it, now what? And it's kind of been me still trying to figure out, where do I go from here? Like, did I not get the job because I meant to really do something else, such as YouTube? Because it's funny how I've come back full circle onto YouTube, because I uploaded my first video in 2021. And that stemmed from me coming up with this idea to start a blog in 2019 that was supposed to write about different topics that moms were going through and offer different techniques, different solutions, you know, different things that moms were going through. It was supposed to be inspiring and motivating and educational and stuff like that. And I did that for a year. And then I decided to bring it to YouTube, to start a YouTube channel and to talk about different things that moms were going through, such as postpartum depression and feeling lost as a mom and not knowing what to do and feeling like, you know, are you a failure, and dealing with low confidence and low self-esteem and self-worth and all of these different things. I decided to bring that onto YouTube and talk about it, even though I was not a talker. I've always been a shy, reserved type of person who didn't really talk a whole lot, and it just was crazy, but I wanted to try something different, to come out of my box more. And I started the YouTube channel, and it did not go well. I was not getting the views that I was expecting, and so it just got very discouraging, and I quit. I quit YouTube for a while, and then I decided to sort of come back, but in a podcast type of way. So I also started a podcast through, at the time it was, oh gosh, now I can't even remember the name. It's crazy how you could be with something or doing something that's called one thing, and then as soon as they change the name, you no longer remember what the name is. But anyway, now it's through Spotify, and at first it was called Spotify for podcasters or whatever. Now it's called Spotify for creators or whatever. So I still do have my podcast up, but I haven't uploaded any new episodes. But I started the podcast. I started the podcast through Spotify, and at first I was doing solo episodes, so it was just me talking about different topics and stuff like that. Then I decided, I want to try interviews. I see other people doing it. Let me see if it would be good for me. And I loved it. Like, I really do enjoy doing the podcast versus coming on camera, just because it can feel a little weird versus when I just have the mic on and I could just talk. I could just get into a flow a little bit better. But I really enjoyed having people on and interviewing them, having them tell their story, tell me and viewers about their business, and telling their story and stuff. And I really liked it. That the thing was that I decided to do all of that while I was pregnant. And so when I had my baby, you get swept up in having to take care of a newborn, and it's a lot and it's draining. You barely have energy. And so once again, I put that on the back burner. But now he's almost 2. He'll be turning 2 this week. And I'm getting back to, okay, what is it that I want to do? What is it that I can do for me? Do I want to go back to work? Do I want to have my own business? Do I want to just have a side hustle? Do I want to just be a content creator and a YouTuber? I'm at that point, but instead of me being stuck, kind of like how I was before, I am taking action. Even though I'm still unsure of which direction things are going to go, I'm still at least doing something every day. I've been challenging myself to consistently post on YouTube every day, at least for 30 days. After 30 days, we'll see how it goes. If it really did what everybody says it does, did it move my channel? Did I go viral? Did I blow up? Did I get monetized within 30 days? Like everyone is saying it's possible. But even if I don't, I feel like I would still keep going, because before, when I started in 2021, it felt like a job. It felt like really hard. It was a lot of pressure. And I didn't like all of that. It just made it very unenjoyable. Versus now, I feel like I'm having a little bit more fun with it, because I'm coming on here, I'm talking about topics that I do want to talk about, but in a way that I feel like listeners want to hear. Because in order to grow on YouTube, you have to be putting out content that people are actually interested in, they want to learn about, or you are an entertainer. You're making people laugh, cry, feel some type of way or whatever. I feel like I'm getting better at doing that, talking about things that I want to talk about, but still delivering value to my audience. And so I'm just basically having fun with it. I've been working on my voice, finding my voice, being more comfortable talking on camera, not sounding so formal or robotic or whatever. And I'm enjoying it this time. And so it's like, well, is that what I'm supposed to be doing? Is it about me creating an income for myself through YouTube? I don't know. Hopefully I find out soon. I want to make some money, but I understand that I might not be the one that it happens for in 30 days. Nothing I've done has happened for me quick. I don't know why, but it's okay, I guess. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, showing up consistently, and working on whatever I need to work on in order to grow and get monetized. And so I'm gonna leave it at that. That's basically, all I got for this video. I felt a certain type of way before, but I'm getting better with it. And so if anyone watching is feeling like they are not accomplishing anything, they didn't get the job, their business or any idea that they came up with is just not working out that the way that they thought it would, it's not having the success that other people are having, just give it time. Just give it time. Keep working at it, keep tweaking it, seeing what works, what doesn't work, keep researching, but most importantly, keep being consistent, because you don't know which direction it'll go. It's a 50-50 chance that it could work out. It's a 50% chance that maybe it's not for you, but only you will know that. You will discover if it's what you're supposed to be doing, what you would enjoy doing, or if it's not. But if you feel strongly about it, keep going and just keep working at it and doing whatever it takes in order to see that it succeeds. But it has to be something that you are passionate about. So keep going, keep striving, and failure is a part of life, but it's always a lesson in there somewhere. You just have to open your eyes and open your heart and be able to see it. All right, y'all, thank y'all so much for watching, and make sure that you like this video and you subscribe to the channel to help me get closer to being monetized. Yeah, thank you, and I will see you in the next video, one of which is this one. Bye.